would become increasingly desperate in countries like the United States. Their quality of life would erode to levels that it's at today and probably will get worse 10 years from now. They do not want to be Athenians. They want to be Spartans. They will, when that happens, close their doors to the rest of the world. They'll impose tariffs. They will cause the U.S. population for the first time in recent memory to actually decline for the first time. China is not the entire East. I live in Malaysia, have for about 12 years.
That's Nomad Capitalist. I follow him quite closely. One of the few YouTube channels that I do watch frequently. He talks a lot about the collapse of what I call the postmodern West. The big thing that he talks about most, which I follow him closely for, is the kind of global macroeconomic landscape of which direction countries are moving in. Which is why I lived in Bali, I now live in Thailand. Very much aligned with his values there. If you want to go check him out, it's Nomad Capitalist. But he shares some really insightful things, because I think that where we are today is going to be different than where the world is going to be in, say, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And with a potential family on the way, I want to skate to where the puck is going. Okay, there's been a change of plans. I am going to Salt Lake City today. Now why? What's in Salt Lake City? Apparently there's more there to see and do than just Mormons. I met a girl on my floor who went to the festival. And I was asked, where are you from? Salt Lake City. And immediately I was like, oh, Bonneville, Salt Flats, right? As in land speed record setting place. She was like, oh yeah, of all the places, of all the things that people know Salt Lake City for, that's not really one of them. And then I thought I saw that same girl from my hotel floor at the festival. And I went up and I was like, oh, hey, are you the girl from Salt Lake City? And she turns around and looks at me. She's a blonde girl, kind of looks similar, right? Different girl entirely. She turns around and she's like, why, do I look like a Mormon? I was like, oh, well, okay. Apparently that's what Salt Lake City's known for. But hey, I'm not from here, so I don't know. But I like exploring new spots, new places. The real reason I'm going is I had a friend from university reach out to me. Watch my story. This is from 14 years ago. Reach out and say, hey, what's going on? You come to Vegas and you didn't tell me that you're there. Well, I didn't know you were in Salt Lake City. I thought you still lived in Chicago or in New York or something. So anyway, she invited me to go up and stay with her a couple of nights. So I've booked a flight out today at 2 p.m. I figured why not? Because I have an extra couple of days before my buddy from Mexico arrives and we're going to head up to Rachel. So we booked Friday night at Rachel at the Little Alien, right? If you're familiar with that, it's the little UFO alien hotspot town. I've made a reservation for Friday night there. So today, being Wednesday, I'm going to fly up to Salt Lake, which is about a 6-hour drive or an hour and a half flight. My friend has agreed that we're going to drive back down together on Friday, pick up my buddy, and then head out and chase UFOs together. So now the party is growing, the party of 3. So when people ask me, like, wow, you're going to Vegas for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, like, what are you going to do over there? I'm like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. Seems like I have a tendency to recruit people along to the journey to do ridiculous things out in the desert, like chase UFOs. But one thing's consistent is I always manage to fill the time, no matter how long a trip is. Like, I went to Mexico for 8 weeks the other time, kind of at the drop of a hat, and that was how I first ended up in Vegas. I don't know, I just end up going with the flow, and I think there's a good lesson in there of rolling with the punches, you know, as opportunities arrive, seize those opportunities. Somebody a bit more philosophical and with a better use of the English language than I have would be able to explain that and articulate that lesson. There's a lesson there somewhere, I can't quite place it. Last night's weekly roundtable happened to finish at 1:30 a.m. because the time zone shift and all that, so a little bit dusty, but we're doing well. Oh, and I bet you're all wondering, so is my friend a Mormon? No, she is not. The first and only time I've ever been inside a church was with this girl, actually. It was for Christmas in 2012. I was like, what are you doing for Christmas? She said, I'm going to church. I'm like, oh, cool, what do you do there? I've never been. Like, my hometown, there's no church. Like, we're not really from a religious area. I'm not from a religious family. My mom's an energy healer. She swings pendulums for a living, so I believe in the metaphysics of the universe at large and the energy that permeates all things around us, you know, so spiritual, I suppose you'd say, spiritual but non-religious. So anyway, I went there, I ate the cracker and I drank the wine, which apparently you're not supposed to do unless you have been dipped in the water or something. I don't know. As you know, I'm a little bit naive with these things. But anyway, I was there and it was a win for me because I got to hold her hand, and that was about as far as I ever got with her. But no, we're just friends. She is the reason why I have ever stepped foot inside a church in my entire life. And one thing I've noticed here is I feel always like an idiot. Every single time I walk up to a door here, where I'm from, and I think the rest of the world, the doors open inwards, so like you're not opening the door out into the street. But here it's the opposite, so every time I'm there, I'm one of those guys pulling on a push door, like the old cliche. Who knows how it feels pulling on a push door? About the first 7 years of my trading career felt like that. Hello, how you doing? There you are, good to see you. Very good. Just arrived here in Salt Lake City. I am here at my friend's place, and I've just checked in on our dollar-yen position, that hyper trade. Now, it has come time to apply some trade management because the trade is actually running very, very favorably. Let's have a look here how that looks. So here's that dollar-yen position that we took a hyper trade on after we saw this big, beautiful bullish engulfing candle and had that solid DDP. Now, the very following day, our entry day, it triggered, but we didn't see much movement. We can see that this candle is just a little doji candle. So we bided our time before securing any profit or removing any risk. We waited until the position had begun. So we're back on the hourly time frame now. Price triggered here beautifully, just as it intended on the pivot line. We can see it bounced off the pivot line, but not very aggressively. It did come back and revisit the pivot line. So this is why we want to be careful with trade management. We wouldn't want to be removing risk with our original stop loss starting down here. We wouldn't want to be trimming that up. Now, some traders, it's very common that when price runs, they start moving their stop loss up to say break even too early. And what would have happened here is you can see there's this little stop loss hunt. Hopefully you can see it in the video here. But it's a very fine wick came down to back to the entry price where had a trader been too greedy or too impatient and dragged their stop loss up to break even, thinking they're doing the right thing by minimizing downside risk, what would have happened is they would have got taken out there for a break even. So you wouldn't have lost any money, but you would have left these unrealized gains. What happened here when this popped a bit higher? Now at this point we started to see the kind of this triple top here. So I initiated phase one risk removal. At this point, it's either going to pop from here or it's going to pull back. So I put my stop loss here. So I removed half risk. It was a little bit more than half. It was maybe, I removed maybe 0.6, left 0.4. So on a $100,000 account, we removed our $1,000 risk. If we allocated $1,000, if it was a full loss, we're down to only now potentially negative $400. Price would have pulled back to break it there. Now price, you can see, is run on quite a bit further. It's running favorably. It's developing nicely. So we can have a look. We're running at about 1.67% running profit. Now, we want to secure some of that profit because we don't want, the last thing that we need is if a price to pull back and give all that 1.67 back and then plus that 0.4, we'd basically be losing, we'd be down 2% from where price currently is floating. So what I'm going to have a look at here is we typically trail, pro traders trade management methodology is to trail behind recent swing lows on the 1 hour time frame. Now, because this is quite developed, I've got two options here. We can either go down to the lower time frame, look at the 15-minute time frame and look at those swings. We can see prices had run, pull back, run, pull back, run, pull back, and find one of these that we're happy to trail behind. We can see prices forming a double top here on the 15-minute time frame as well. And we are nearing closer to the end of the day as well. So we have to be wary that devil's hour, where we get a spread spike, this could also potentially take us out. So I'm going to give this a moment to think about what I'm going to do, because we've got, again, those options. I would be leaning more towards actually trailing up behind the 1 hour 50, giving it the breathing room. If we're going to keep it open, I'd go ahead and secure, what is that, roughly, be a little under 1% workout. I would secure it. It would be 0.79 or about 0.8, something like that, would be secured. Secured 0.8. That means it would be giving back about 0.8 if price were to pull back to this level, which that's kind of balanced. We're running 0.8 and we're kind of risking it pulling back 0.8. So I never want to give back 1%, right? So if this was running in, say, 2% running profit, securing 0.8 is not enough. I have to secure more, because there's a chance then that if it just pulls all the way back, that means that I'm saying I'm okay with price pulling back from a 2% running profit to by 0.8. I'm okay with giving 1.2% profit back to the markets. That is never okay for me. Anything more than 1 is too much. At this stage, it's not more than 1, so it would be okay, but that's about the loosest that I'd be willing to go. So we get 1.64, so that means I need to secure at least 6.64, which 0.8 would be the way to go. Still feels a little bit loose with price slowing down here. Price is consolidating here. We're in New York session. London session is for the most part finished. London must be closed now. I'm still trying to get up to speed with the time zones and such. But if I was back in Bangkok, you can see it's 12 a.m. in Bangkok time. This is the time that I would just kill this trade. I'd just close it down. It has developed well. It is starting to slow down here. So because I am on the road, I'm going to, this year would be my typical trade management placement. So
if you're a trader that's watching this and you're in this trade and you were to do that, that would be my call. Until we roll over into Asia session and then volume picks up again, then I would go ahead and jump down to the 15-minute time frame after the new daily candle forms, and then start trailing up behind the 15-minute lows. That's what I do, and then carry on the position from there. But we can see we've had a good run. We're at 1.67 of our total 4% of a hyper trade. Price is slowing down here, and it's just, to be honest, something that I don't really want to be paying too much attention to managing while I'm on the road right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close it right here. Manual close on the road. So I've always got this option to do a manual close if I'm on the road, and it's coming up to devil's hour. So I always make a choice every day. Every day I make a choice. Am I going to close it or am I going to keep it open? And if I'm going to keep it open, how am I going to manage it? We covered this extensively on yesterday's weekly roundtable. So there you have it. I'm going to close that position out from my MetaTrader terminal. I'm not going to do it live here on the vlog for obvious reasons. That is a 1.68. Close for plus 1.67%, which on my account size and with the prop firms that I trade, that covers that one trade. For the most part, I'd have to do the math. Pretty much covers almost the entire trip to Vegas, including flights and accommodation and everything. So it's no joke, right? And you don't need to be trading all day, every day. You don't need to be watching the charts. And everything that I've done has been live with you guys on this vlog. So between this one and last one, put the time together, 20 minutes of work, of course, minus the analysis of all the other currency pairs and things that just didn't present opportunities. You can trade comfortably around a job. I'm trading while on the road, also running ProTrader as a company, as well as doing the trading part. So once you know what you're doing, it's not really that time intensive. Trading is supposed to enhance your life, not detract from it. That's that, guys.
So there you have it. That's how a hyper trade looks from start to finish, from analysis on the daily time frame, getting a DDP all the way through to the 1 hour time frame, the 4 hour time frame, trade management, and closing the position out. That is that. I'm done. I'm about to go explore Salt Lake City. It's an old bathhouse that's now for concerts. It's kind of got that Russian dome vibe thing going on. Bathhouse, Salt Lake. There's some dude zipping around out there on his boat.
Yeah.
How deep is it? I thought you said it was really shallow.
It is at the beginning, and then it's in a normal lake, I think.
Ah, so you can swim in it? You guys will remember from my supplement vlog, I drink reverse osmosis water, right? And I use concentrates, which comes from the Great Salt Lake of here in Utah. Apparently that's the gold standard stuff. We are embarking that direction to go to Bonnieville, where the Salt Flats are, where they set the land speed record. So my favorite movies is The World's Fastest Indian. Comment below if you've seen that. But World's Fastest Indian, where Burt Munro goes out there in his Indian, his motorcycle, and sets a land speed record, which I believe held from like the 60s or something until I think it was like 2017. It did get broken recently, but I'm going there because that is a piece of New Zealand history. What do you think? It's gonna saltier than a regular ocean or normal salty? Come on, you got to get down on all fours and drink it like a cow.
Salty. It's not super salty though.
You got to stick your tongue in it.
Okay, I'll
Stick your tongue
show
in
me
it.
how it's done.
Okay, here. Hold the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Audience. We've got an audience watching as well.
Oh my god.
Oh, fuck, that is really salty. It's definitely saltier than the normal ocean. And I've tasted many oceans. This one definitely takes the cake. Man, it was just a little, it was a tiny tongue dip, but it lingers. It lingers. You pay good money for that. That bottle of concentrate in there's like $40. So I know that tongue dip. That must have been worth a tenner at least. Tell us more about the Mormons then. I want to know more about them. Why did the Mormons settle here? Did they like the Salt Flats, or is it that it was the only state that would really like accept them? Because I know they got the runaround for a while, huh?
I'm not the expert on the Mormons. I'm just learning about them. So.
Well, you've moved to Mormon City, so
Yeah.
I'm sure you're going to learn more about it.
I will. I'll keep you up to date.
So what makes it great? Just the fact that it's big? Like, is the big is what makes it great?
I don't know.
You're the resident. You're supposed to know these
I am
things.
a resident, but I'm learning. I've been a resident for 2 weeks.
You were telling us all about the salination levels and such. Salinity?
Yeah. I think the northern one is close to like 30%.
30%.
And then this one's probably closer to 5 or and above. But yeah.
Okay. I don't know really what that translates to. but I like Salt Baths.
The little museum place will have a sheet and I'll show you.
All right, museum place, here we come. My hand is still so salty. It's like crusty. Do you think if you went swimming in there, you'd come out like a salami? You know, or like a piece of jerky?
It's just, I mean, come on, salty for sure.
Yeah, and then like salt's kind of like drying. I feel my hand drying out.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'd come out. If you go for a swim for like 20 minutes, come lie on the sand for a while, I think you definitely turn into like one of those little, like a jerky stick. You've all heard of Pickle Rick before, but what about Jerky Luke? Maybe that could be a new thing. So there's a lake there, and you can see where the water meets the land. And then looking up here, we're chatting with a gentleman who's worked here since 1976, and you can see this rim along the edge here, which is quite high up here. That is where the water level used to be about 10,000 years ago. So I asked him what the main cause of the water level dropping was, and I thought, evaporated ocean bed, but this used to be all fresh water, what he said. I mean, there must have been some traces of salt there, of course, which is why we've left with this huge salt deposit. But there was actually an earthquake that split open one of the natural dams, and that's what caused the majority of the water level to drop, for the water to escape. It's so orange. I've just realized it's been at least 7 years since I've experienced autumn or fall, as you guys call it. Yeah, between summertime hopping between countries, living in Bali for 5 years, Thailand, tropics, you don't get autumn. Even though it's not snowing, it feels like a little ski resort town. I don't know, something about it. Maybe it's the architecture or something. Oh, world's most famous Buffalo's Burger. This is why we're here. This, ladies and gents, is why we're here for our 3:30 p.m. breakfast. Get a load of this chili bread bowl, fries, American style, IPA. Cheers! All right, time for the main event. This is a buffalo burger, right?
Yeah.
Buffalo burger made out of like buffaloes?
Buffaloes.
Nice. Come here, you tasty little buffalo. Let's go. See how this tasty little buffalo is. Oh, it's good. The bun's good. The bun is very good. That buffalo. Come here, little buffalo. This is the most American I feel like I've been since arriving in the US. So, dive bar, beer, buffalo burger. Let's go. All right, Salt Lake City. It's been a good time. Over there, you can see this was the Great Salt Lake. That's where we spent today. Then we headed up over there to, what was it called? Park City. Park City, bitch. We're up there having buffalo burgers. And that concludes today. We're gonna head back and get in the hot tub, enjoy our time there before embarking back to Nevada, back to Las Vegas, first thing tomorrow. At what time? The crack of fucking dawn. 5 a.m., something like that. So probably won't be time to edit this. We're gonna head down to Nevada, go pick up my buddy from the airport, and then, as I've been promising you all for about 4 days now, that is the day that we're gonna be heading to Rachel in Nevada, which is the little UFO town. We're gonna do that tomorrow evening, I suppose we're gonna be there. And then the very next morning, then we go to Area 51 to perhaps, maybe catch some, chase some UFOs, let's see. Oh, this is good. This is really good. This is like the warmest heated pool I think I've been in. This is, and get a load of this. Overlooks the city out there. This is like a true infinity pool. This is fucking great. I can see what the vibe is, what the vision is for this place, and I've noticed the architecture. It's all very ski resort town vibes, which I didn't know that was what the vibe was. But we met some folks over, some remote workers. There's an Aussie girl and a couple of other folks there that were, well, she was the remote worker, the others work here, but they come from out of town she's here to spend 8 months, I think 8 months, just here skiing and snowboarding and doing all that good stuff. And I've started to see the hot tub, the swimming pool, the heated pool, it all runs all year round through winter as well. So this is what they do. They'll come and sit around and drink whatever, I don't know, what's the Utah drink of choice? I was going to say Southern Comfort, something like that, I don't know. You go do your skiing, snowboarding, and then you come down here and have that little ski town village. But that's cool. I think I would come back here just to do that, because I've never done the ski town thing. I am a pretty shit snowboarder, but
pretty shit. Come here, spend 3 months or something, bring Charlie. Charlie loves the snow. So we're about to hit the hay now anyway because it is getting late and we've got to be up at 5 a.m. for a 5:30 a.m. departure. Head down to Vegas, pick up my buddy, head to Rachel, then go chase some UFOs. So stay tuned for that. I'll be back. See you again soon, Salt Lake City.